Hi, I'm Amanda Awakens, and if you have watched any of my story times, then you already know that in my past I have had a questionable taste in men. Like the time I was dating an up-and-coming film producer, adult film producer. So back in my undergraduate college career, I was dating at the time a guy named, let's say, Joseph. And I thought Joseph was so cool because he was in school to be a filmmaker. When Joseph and I first started talking, he was actually working on a film project at the time, and he asked me if I wanted to be in it. And I was so ecstatic. Like, I was like, oh my God, absolutely, that's so cool. And when I asked him what it was about, he super duper casually, like super casual, was like, oh, well, you know, I make adult films, and this film is about a black girl in college who is in an unorthodox relationship with her white boyfriend. And y'all, I legit did not know at the time what adult films even were. Like, of course I knew like about porn, obviously I knew what that was, but I didn't know at the time that that's what that was called. Whenever I saw it online, nobody called it that. So I had no idea that that's what adult films were. And again, he just said it like so casually and so nonchalantly that I didn't even think anything of it. But I did think like, okay, that's kind of strange that like this super extra white boy is going to try to make a movie about the struggles of a black girl in an interracial relationship. And I also kind of was like, all right, this is hitting a little bit too close to home. So after I agreed to be in the film, he tells me that I need to meet the lead character, and let's just say her name was Danielle. So one night, the three of us meet up at a bar downtown to get to know one another. And Danielle was interesting. Now, I'm not gonna bash her because there was absolutely nothing wrong with her. She was a beautiful girl and there was nothing wrong with her, but she was eccentric, as you know, an adult film star would be, but I didn't know that at the time. And it was one of those friendships that they had where I was just like, okay, like, where would y'all meet? How would y'all be friends? What on earth could possibly be sustaining this friendship? Like, it was insane to me and unimaginable that they were friends. But anyways, had a great time. Danielle was awesome. Joseph was awesome. Like, we were all vibing and clicking, and all of a sudden Danielle brings up that she thinks that I should be promoted from being just like an extra in the film to actually getting like a character, like getting a role in the film. Joseph thought it was a great idea too, and he told me that the next week he would send me the address to the place where we were filming, and we'd do a couple of scenes so I could get my feet wet and, you know, just get used to being behind the camera, see if it works or not. So I'm like, all right, bet. So a week passes and I go to the address that Joseph sent me. And look, y'all, I'm not Viola Davis, I'm not Lupita Nyong'o, like, I don't have any type of industry experience, but I did think it was strange that we were filming at a house, that we were actually filming inside of a house. Like, again, I don't know nothing about being on set, but I feel like when there's a scene in a movie or TV show in a house that you're not actually in a house, like you're in a house on a set, that house smelled from the carpet to the ceiling. Like, it was the most weed infused home I have ever been in my entire life. Like, I did not just catch a contact, I caught a full-on felony assault charge in that house. And I couldn't even find Joseph, but I found Danielle. She comes out of a back room wearing her bra and her panties, and she might as well have not been wearing anything because they were see-through, they were transparent, they were translucent, like they were an illusion. So now I'm like mad, I'm confused, like I'm disoriented, I'm all of the things. And I ask her, you know, where is Joseph? Like, where is he? What's going on? So she tells me he's in the back room that she just came out of. So I'm like, oh wow, okay, cool, super cool. So I'm gonna go check in with him. So I walk into the room that Danielle just walked out of, and I see Joseph standing behind the camera like he was trying to get things set up. And like, I just go up to him and he can tell from my face that I'm just like fuming, but also that I am bewildered. I am flabbergasted. I am confused. And I just start rattling off questions like, who was that guy? Why is she wearing that? Where the hell are we? What kind of movie is this? Like, is this some sort of setup? And he looks at me like I just spoke in pig Latin. And he tells me that the guy who opened the door was the guy who's playing her boyfriend in the film. And the reason that they're both wearing what they're wearing is because they're about to act out a scene. So I asked him, well, what kind of scene are they about to act out? Like, are they about to act out a sex scene? Like, what is going on? And he looks me in my natural brown eyes and says to me, Amanda, you know I make adult films, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know you make films for adults, but like, what type of film is this? Like, what is going on? And he's like, Amanda, do you know what adult films are? And I'm like, yeah, like you're making films for adults. Like, I get it. Like, you're making films that are not for children. And then he's like, oh. And he just starts snickering, y'all. Like, he literally just starts snickering and giggling at me. And all of a sudden, I don't even know where the information came from, but like the information just came into my brain. Like, it all just clicked for me. And then I knew. I knew that in that moment exactly what adult films were. And I was mortified. I was absolutely mortified. So I leave. I don't even say anything. Like, I literally just walk out the door. I go to my car. I close the door. I remember at that time too, like, I remember locking my door, like literally locking all my doors, and I left. And from that day, like literally from that day, I did not see Joseph again. I did not text him. Like, I deleted his number. I blocked him. Like, I tried to wipe that what I knew would be trauma away from my brain. And I went home and just like laid in bed and was horrified. So y'all, that is my story. And yes, your girl was an idiot. Your girl was a clown. And I don't know how I didn't know what I didn't know, but I didn't know. So it is what it is. You know, like, a story came from it. It was funny. And in hindsight, it was a good time. And, you know, my film career never got off the ground, but it is okay. It is absolutely okay. So until next time, stay safe, be well, and I'll see you all soon. Bye, everyone.